go.
G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Big Lap Prep series. So today is, in my opinion, one of the most important things that we're doing. We're here with Dave from Weightcheck, and we are going to weigh a whole setup. How you doing, Dave?
Good, mate. Good. Yep. So we're going to see where you go. You've when you hook these two together, you've got 6 weight compliances here that you've got to comply with. So there's 3 for the car, 3 for the caravan, and we need to make sure that we're ticking the compliance rating on each of those.
Yep.
So it's not just about GCM, which is the total weight of the car and caravan. With the caravan, we've got 3 weight compliances here. With the car, we've got 3 there. So we've got to make sure that for the safety of the occupants of the car and other road users, we've got to make sure that you're within those weight limitations.
Yep, and hopefully we are.
We're about to find out.
What's the process, mate? How do we do this?
Yep, so what we're going to do initially is get some paperwork going, get the computer rolling. So what that'll do is that'll give us all the compliance ratings, put that into the computer, and then as we do the weighing, we start adding all those wheel weights and axle weights in, ball weight, etc. Once we get all those numbers into the computer program, it'll produce a 3-page report. So once we get that done, we'll print it out, and then we'll sit down and have a yarn to you both and see where you're sitting with all those numbers. So the process is, what we're going to do initially is we're going to weigh the car with you guys in it, because you're both part of the payload.
Yep.
So we'll move the car up on the wheel pads. That'll give me the weight on each wheel, the weight on each axle, and the gross vehicle mass of the car.
Yep.
We'll also do it while it's up on the pads. We're also going to do it with the van lifted off, so we'll know what the car weighs with and without the van.
Yep.
That's part one. Then we focus on the caravan. So what we're going to do then is pull the caravan up on the scales and also disconnect it from the car, put a tow ball scale in there, and then that'll give us a few numbers for our caravan, like our gross trailer mass, which is the weight on the wheels, and also the aggregate trailer mass. So once we got all those numbers, we'll spit out a 3-page report and keep our fingers crossed we're going to be there.
Beautiful. We'll know if we're over or under.
And it's all workable. It's all workable. So, you know, like if something's pushing the boundaries a little bit, it might be a case of just moving some stuff around, or maybe looking at, you know, ditching a bit of water or whatever. But it's all fixable.
I have to say, my only concern is being a single axle is the ball weight.
Yeah.
Going on the GVM.
Yeah, probably a good concern.
Yep.
So with your Ranger, you're allowed to have 350 kilos of weight on the ball. Ideally, as far as the caravan's concerned, the caravan has an ATM of 2,800 kilos. So ideal ball weight for the caravan, as far as the caravan's concerned, is 10% of that weight. Somewhere between 9 and 11%.
Yep.
So if we can attain 280, we're probably, I agree with you, we're probably going to be a little bit heavier than that.
Yep.
The main thing is we don't want to be heavier than what the car can tow. So the car can tow 3.5 tonne and it can have 350 kilos on the ball weight. So as long as we're not 350, happy days, but we want to try and maintain close to 10% as we can. But you are right, most single axle vans will have a little bit more ball weight than a tandem axle.
Now, before we jump into it, mate, you obviously weigh a lot of vans, being your job. How many people do you see going over? Yep,
got asked a lot. So we've been operating 4.5 years now. When I first came up with the concept of the van, just giving a bit of background on my background's not caravans. I've got another business in the building industry.
Yep.
I bought a new caravan 5.5 years ago, went over a weighbridge. The car was over by 50, the caravan was over by 214.
Yep.
So it sent me down the track. Now my full-time work is weighing people's caravans. So to give you an idea, in the last 12 months, 31% of the cars I weighed were overweight, and 42% of the caravans.
Wow, right.
Wow.
So,
That's
and
up
don't
there.
forget, they're only people like yourselves that are concerned enough about it to pick the phone up.
Yes.
For every one of them, there's probably 10 people that don't really care.
Yeah, most people out there have no idea that
That's
they're
right.
cruising around overweight. So
Yeah.
this is why this is so important to us.
Yep.
And hopefully we're all good. But let's get stuck into it.
Yeah, that's right. And those numbers, are, you know, like we've got a franchised operation on the Gold Coast, one in Toowoomba and one in Darwin,
Yep.
and their numbers are about the same. It's about 40% of the caravans.
So it's common.
Oh, yeah, it's common.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Do it.
Fingers crossed.
Beauty.
So one of the main reasons we ended up going for the JB Gator Rex was its size and weight. It comes in with an ATM of 2.8 tonne, and the main reason is because of that thing there, the car, not Eric. Because the Ranger has a GCM of 6 tonne, we knew from all the research that we'd done before buying a van.
Yeah, that we couldn't tow much.
Yeah, well, we just had to be careful. Realistically, you're going to chuck a lot of stuff in the car and van if you're living in it full time. You're not just doing little weekenders where you chuck it in a couple of clothes.
Yeah.
This is our life in this van. So we were well aware of that. And there are heaps of bigger dual axle vans out there that would come in around the same weight, but they're not full off-road.
Yeah.
And that was a big one for us. A couple of reasons. One, we want to be able to explore anywhere we want to go.
Yeah, we definitely know we want to do beach camping.
Yeah. And not to say that you can't take an on-road van there. I mean, we did that with our last van. We dragged that up Double Island. We took that, you know, around Inskip Point and stuff like that. So,
but if something did happen, you wouldn't be covered by warranty.
So this way we don't have to stress. We can see a spot that we want to go to, drag it up there.
Yeah.
That's just our choice. Each their own. Semi-off-road vans, very capable. They can go lots of places.
Yeah. And we also didn't realise when we bought the Ranger, we weren't really looking at travelling so much then.
Yeah, we didn't. This wasn't a plan back then. Where the Ranger was literally a car for me to use for work.
Sorry, excuse me.
As a car for me to use for work, a family car at the same time, and we had a little 17-foot, only weighed about a ton.
Viscount, was it?
Yeah, an old Viscount.
Oh,
it weighed next to nothing. So, and I had no idea about weights back then.
No.
We find it's a very daunting thing for new caravanners, especially when you're just starting to look into cars, vans. There's so many different numbers, it could just do your head in.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot, for me anyway, it took a lot of research to figure out what everything meant. And
I still don't fully understand it. It's a lot.
And I think I'm fairly around it. You know, it's a big topic at the moment. Everyone likes to, you know, not bitch about it, but as soon as someone puts up a photo of their car and van on social media, you almost see the first comments are, you look overweight, or what's your weights? And
you would be surprised how many like setups you see driving around that once you've read a little bit into it, you're instinctively like, that's too heavy.
Yeah, I say it all the time, and they may be, they may not be, but this is why we're down here today with Weightcheck.
Yeah.
We're gonna, there's just no guessing anymore. We'll know exactly what we need to do, whether the van's overweight, the car's overweight, if we've got to lose stuff, if we've got more room. So yeah, let's get this thing weighed and then we'll know where we're at. Good to go up?
Yeah, mate. A little bit more. Just back and touch.
What are we at?
3203.
Oh, that's without the kids.
But yeah, this is all right. Don't forget though, this is with the van on.
Yes, true. Yeah.
So,
and the water bladder's full.
Yeah, we'll get a bigger picture in a minute. So, what I want to do, I'm going to get this way.
Yep.
Then I'm going to disconnect. While you're sitting there, you stay there. I'm just going to chock that, disconnect it, go off the hitch, and then go back on.
Okay.
205. So, I'll show you something down there in a minute. So that's with the car up on the pads. The car's actually higher than it is at travel height. So the ball weight is less. So the ball weight's going to get heavier when we do it with that. I'll show you. Right, you guys jump in.
How you feeling about it all?
Concerned now.
I should have gone to the toilet before we came. I reckon we could have dropped a couple of kilos.
Gross.
But it shows, like, yeah.
We thought we'd be all
You got to be so careful. Like, we've got a lighter van, but we're still, not that we haven't weighed everything yet, but we're already getting up there with the car. So.
And that's without the kids.
There's options around it, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how everything else goes.
Righto, mate. Just slowly back. I'll tell you when you're about to roll. Yeah, just about to roll now. Keep coming. Leah, righto. You can turn her off, mate. Welcome to my school. Come around here. Just a bit of an explanation of what we did there. It's just a bit of an explanation about that ball weight, right? So your GVM of the car is 3,200 kilos. That's the loaded weight of the car, including people, fuel, water bladder, caravan, etc. when the caravan's on it.
Yep.
So that's what your car weighed with the caravan attached. Yep. So then we, both of you in it, caravan off when you jump back in, Aaron. You print a ribbon on that, 29.47. So basically the difference is your ball weight, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
258.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how you figure that out before.
Okay. So now the only thing is, if that's the car with the caravan, that's the car without the caravan. So you take those two away, it's got to be your ball weight,
yeah.
But it's not. Because what's happened is the car just went up on those wheel pads. So the car's actually 60 mil higher, even though it doesn't. The car and the caravan are on the same attitude here, or the same angle. It doesn't matter if it's downhill, uphill, left, right, doesn't matter. As long as they're not like that or like that. So they're on the same angle, attitude I call it. So because the car's up 60 mil, caravan's nose up.
Ah.
So when we're measuring ball weight, we've got to measure the ball weight right at the toe edge, and it's got to be at exactly the same height it sits on the car. So you know when I got that tape measure out?
Yeah, measured the hitch
That was from the ground was 450 mil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the caravan up on the scales, and then I'm going to put the toe ball scale in at that height to measure the ball weight. So you wouldn't think it'd change much, would you? I'll show you, it will though. So what happens is, let's just say this is a single axle van. Let's just say we measure the ball weight at dead level, right? Let's say the ball weight's 300 kilos. If you drop that 150 mil, the ball weight's going to get heavier, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you're going down.
Yep.
So this could go to 320 or something.
Yep.
So what's happened is when the car's up on the scales, caravan's nose up. So the ball weight's left.
Yep.
So this here, oh look, I'll take a guess. I'll take a guess. It'll be somewhere around that. It's not going to be much different. It could be 30 kilos heavier. I don't think it will be. You want to have a guess? I'll go. I reckon I'll go 270. I reckon.
Yeah, I'm going 280.
You're gonna go 280?
Yeah.
Aaron?
What does the winner get?
What are you gonna have?
He doesn't charge us.
Yeah. Oh, I reckon.
275. I'll go in the middle.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, it could only go to 265 here too.
Yeah.
So it will change, but it's not going to change greatly. So I know the ball weight's going to be about 260. So the ball weight's going to be good. Getting back to your GVM, so because this is going to get heavier, this is going to go up a little bit, isn't it? So we might be going to let's add 15. So it means our GVM is now 3220. So we're plus 20, aren't we?
Yeah.
With the caravan on. So we've got the pickaninnies to put in yet. What do they weigh?
50 kilos combined.
Okay, so we're now plus 70. So we could be up around 33 thereabouts.
Yep.
So once we get the bigger picture, or how close to GCM you are, that will determine whether you need to do a GVM upgrade here.
Okay.
Because at the moment we're 3,200, but with a GVM upgrade that can be 3,500.
Yep.
But your 6 doesn't change.
Yep.
Righto. So when we're putting ball weight, so the difference of the car between the car and the difference weight of the car with the caravan and without the caravan is 258. So once we actually do the ball weight at travel height, that's going to increase a little bit marginally, but we'll get that right. So if we use that 258, when you put 258 on the toe ball, it increases your rear axle weight and it decreases the front axle weight.
Yep.
Lifts it up like that. The theory behind it is, if you multiply that ball weight 1.5 times, that's about what it's going to do to your rear axle. So we know the ball weight's going to be in the vicinity of 258 kilos when we work out exactly, when we do it at travel height, we'll work that out exactly. So, but if we use that figure, 258 multiply it 1.5 times gets 387. That's the theory behind it, of what it does to your rear axle. The actual change in weight, this got heavier by 373. That got lighter by 114. they're the actual weights. That's the theory. So you can see it's pretty close, isn't it? It's not close. So this is what's happened. When you put 258 kilos on your tow bar, your rear axle got heavy by 373 kilos, your front axle got lighter by 114. So yeah, you're going to be, the car's going to be up there, but it's all right. I still reckon just got to make sure the Caravan's where it should be, and then you can look at doing it. Once we see what your weight is of the Caravan and the car by itself, we'll then know what we got left in GCM. When you think about it, without the water in and the kids in, you're right on, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the water's in, so if you...
So that's like the kids being
in
there, 10 kilos more than technically what the kids
so in effect, as it sits there now, it's the kids in, no water.
Yep.
About half a metre or thereabouts. Yeah, all good. That'll do you. Perfect. Just hang on there. Yeah, good to go forward, Alex. Everything's disconnected. Righto, mate. What were we before?
258. We were 258.
Yeah. So we're about the same.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, my 280 was way off, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which is good.
Good thing, yeah.
Dave won.
You should have gone 65. You could have won.
I could have.
Oh, I've still got to pay for it.
God, here we go.
Here we go. You're worried about the ball weight.
Yeah. Well, that was the least of our concerns.
No, your ball weight's fine. Ball weight's 8.3%. Pretty much, yeah. So the car's now, because the ball weight's about that same number, the car's over by 2 kilos. So basically the car by itself, with the water out and the kids in, is smack on.
Yep.
The Caravan's the biggest problem.
Yep.
The combined mass is under by 13 kilos.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be more than that.
Yep.
Because the Caravan's over by...
Yeah, wow.
Jesus.
What payload do you have?
400 and...
472. Yeah, you got a bit of gear on it.
Yeah.
Got some to get rid of.
Well, yeah. And it's hard because you've got a family of 4.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the kids' toys and the clothes and, you know, like it all just adds up.
Yeah.
You know, when we used to be able to fly overseas, you get out in the airport with your bag. What'd your bag weigh? 20 kilos.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
20, 40, 60, 80, maybe.
True.
yeah.
You know, you might have, maybe not 80, but you'd have at least 60 or 70 kilos worth of clothing alone.
Yep.
It's fixable. It's just, probably your biggest hurdle is you've only got 470 kilos of available payload.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you know, like a tandem will have 600. Yeah, it's up there, eh?
Yeah. Well, that surprises me. I didn't think the van ATM would be our issue.
And like I say, just about every caravan away with people living in it, you know, bigger caravans, they'll always, 9 times out of 10, they'll be over.
Yeah.
Because you've got everything in there that you're going to live on in the next however long.
Yeah.
How do you fix it?
If I was going to say, so if we got a GVM upgrade, could we move some of that weight then to the car?
Yeah.
Yes, because we're under GCM.
Yeah.
Only just.
Yeah.
So not a lot,
definitely,
but
definitely.
Yeah.
So by moving weight out of here into here, you're not changing the overall combined weight.
And water, I guess, is the other thing.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. And I mean, you know, like immediately you take those 2 jerrys off, there's 40. Yeah. There's probably 50 kilos there, including the jerry cans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will work with a GVM upgrade.
But with moving quite a bit from the van into the car.
And
Whilst
what I'd be doing
maintaining
is looking at, like, I'd be taking jerry cans off, be trying to get anything out of it you can.
Yep.
So
I don't know how we It feels like we're literally going to take all of our stuff out to get 200 kilos. We'll have to get a set of scales and
weigh everything.
Okay, so we've got a weight compliance report here. So what this does, first of all, is we've got a little checklist for you when you pre-departure, list of things you've got to check on the car and the caravan. Plenty of things that the boys have got to check down on that hitch, plus also everything in the caravan's got to be locked up, make sure it's safe to tow, and then just make sure you don't forget to do any of those. An information sheet on all the different weight compliances. It is confusing, you know, there's GCM, GVM, BTC, ATM, it goes on and on and on. And all these weights all interact with each other. So even though we've got 6 compliances here, we need to make sure that we're ticking the box on all 6. And then what we've got is a 3-page report. So this report, there's a page on the caravan, there's a page on the tow vehicle, and the last page lists all the compliance ratings, what it physically weighs, and then whether we're over or under.
Yep.
So I'll show you how it works on the back page, just a bit of an explanation how we get there. So the caravan report lists everything on the compliance plate. So the tear weight of the caravan was 2328. The loaded weight of the caravan can be 2800, which is the aggregate trailer mass. Take those two away from each other, you end up with 472 kilos, which is basically what your available payload is in the caravan. So that's including water, food, clothing, bedding, everything that goes in it, which we've sort of ticked down here. Everything's in it ready for you to go. All we do then is just add in the individual wheel weights and axle weights. What that then does is it calculates what weight we've got on the axle. We also need to add the ball weight to it to get the overall weight of the caravan. So the ball weight, when measuring ball weight, you need to measure the ball weight right at the tow hitch, and it needs to be measured at exactly the same height it sits on the car. Because if you measure it higher or lower, that ball weight will change. All these numbers, by the way, go to the back page. Same thing with the tow vehicle. Ford Ranger, details of the compliance plate, it was full of fuel, had 2 people in it. It's got a roof rack, a bull bar, a toolkit, a fridge, some rear doors, and it's got a 60 litre water bladder in it, which is full. Once again, just add all the individual wheel and axle weights. What this page then does is it calculates what happens to the car when the caravan's attached, so the ball weight becomes part of the car weight, and it also looks at what the combined weight of car and caravan does. So lots of numbers on those 2 pages. Pretty much this is how it works. This is the part where you probably this is the part where you get scared. So these are all your unhitched weights, okay? So if we do the caravan to start with, tow ball weight can be 350 because the car can tow 3.5 tonne. Aggregate trailer mass, total weight of caravan disconnected from the car. So that means ball weight plus wheel weight. So we're allowed to be 2800. Aggregate tow ball mass should be around about 10% of the overall weight of the caravan, or the ATM. Yours is sitting at 8.3. So it's getting close to the parameters, probably a little bit light on the ball. So once again, that's workable by moving stuff around in the van. Then we look at the tow vehicle. So the car can legally tow 3.5 tonne. Even though the caravan's overweight, we've still got 460 kilos left in that. Gross vehicle mass. So gross vehicle mass is the weight of the car by itself. Gross vehicle mass in combination means when the caravan's titched, the ball weight becomes part of the car weight.
Yep.
So we can be 3,200 whether we're towing something or not. Just with you guys in, no caravan, we're 2,947, 253 left. Then when we add the ball weight of 255, pushes it up to 3,202, so we're 2 kilos over. But that's completely manageable with the water for starters,
yes,
even when the kids go in.
Yep.
GCM, gross combination mass, total weight of everything, can be 6 tonne. So I think the way to work it is, if you imagine you, let's just say you get a GVM upgrade, that would change those 2 figures to 3,500.
Yep.
GCM remains the same, towing capacity remains the same. So if that's 3,500, you're now 300 kilos underweight.
Yep.
Yeah, so the overall weight's not changing. All we're doing is taking something out of the caravan, putting it into the car, because the car can tow more, can have more load.
Yep. First thing, GVM upgrade.
You need to have the
That's now a
because the you got to get your mind, or I got to get my mind around it too. You know, you guys have got to too. But what you got to put it into the biggest perspective. I'm not adding weight to any. I'm not adding weight to the overall weight of the rig,
because we're fine.
We're just under that.
Yep.
So people would say, well, why are you doing a GVM upgrade? You can only put 13 more kilos in.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're not putting any more kilos in. All we're doing is moving the kilos that are already in there.
Yep. And that is also a good thing, isn't it? Because you really want your car to weigh a lot more than what you're towing.
Yeah,
That's
there's no...
general.
So Australia and North America are the only countries in the world where your caravan can weigh more than your car.
Yeah. Is it about 80% elsewhere, like Europe?
Yeah, it's like Europe. You've got to have a 3-ton caravan. You've had a 3-ton caravan, you can have like a 4-ton truck or something. Get the bathroom scales.
Yeah, we'll go buy another set because we packed away the other ones.
Yeah, there's no getting them out of the storage
shed. And
shed.
then we'll throw them in the bin because we can't take it, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
So we're going to start the Great Cull 2021. So we've got a fair bit of weight to get out of the van. Car's fine. Total combination is fine. But the van has to get lighter. So we're just going to start pulling stuff out. We have got heaps of stuff in there that we probably don't need, and this is just the point where we have to be realistic and go through it all and decide what we need and what we don't. So the idea too is to try to get some weight out of the car so we can transfer some of the things that we really need from the van into the car. So we're going to start off, first thing is, or what we did, because we packed away our bathroom scales, we've gone and bought another set.
Cheap set.
And we're literally going to start weighing things item by item and just seeing
how much we can get rid of.
Yep, start adding it up.
Because it's really surprising. Once we started looking at things yesterday after the weigh-in, we were like, there's no way we could be that far over. But we found 3 things that straight away added up to like 100 kilos.
So just in here alone, my tools, fire pit sitting underneath, and the solar blanket, that was about 60 kilos, if not a little bit more. Some of that unnecessary, don't need to bring as many tools. The fire pit, too heavy. We're just going to have to ditch it and get a lighter one. We like that fire pit, but is what it is. We can't change it. Solar blanket, still got to take that, but maybe move where it is. So the idea is, with the GVM upgrade on the car, more payload in the car to transfer things out of the van. But at the same time, we don't want to be smack bang on our GCM. We want to have a little bit of play.
Yeah.
So
now once we do a big shop or something, that could easily push us over.
Yeah, that's right. Like a week's free camping, if we end up doing that somewhere, we're going to be stocked up, especially with water as well and fuel. So I'm going to start weighing things, seeing what we can drop off, and go from there.
All right, let's see what one of these weigh.
Violently close the door. I reckon 15 kilos.
You reckon?
Yeah. So what I weigh? 69.7. So that's about
8.
9 kilos.
Conservatively 9.
Yep.
So this right here is 1.3 kilos. Very surprising.
And probably just extras of everything. Like,
yeah, I just kept 6 of everything. This is like doubles or things that we could do with a fork or...
Like a mallet. We don't need a mallet.
No.
I literally was watching a trip in a van. Must have been just an Instagram story, and he was just using a cheese grater.
Yeah, I was going to say, or you could use a can or...
to beat down the chicken. So that's where we've got to learn from the people who do this all the time.
Yeah, and I've never used one of these spaghetti things ever.
So, go on. Oh, you're going to give away your weight?
No. Just back. Another surprising one, that right there is another 1.1 kilos.
Once again, extra plates, extra bowls, chopping boards. I think in total that means we had 4 chopping boards in there.
Yes.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
So
changed it to just the 2 real flexible ones. For,
yeah, nice and light.
Yeah,
and easier to pack away.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's what? 5?
That's 5 kilos.
Well, I was 69.7. It's nearly 6 kilos. It's 5.8 kilos
Wow.
of books. when we can get books on the pads.
Yeah, I'll just get them a Kindle or something.
This is a big one. So this is our fire pit. We bought this in Stanthorpe because it was pretty much the only fire pit they had.
Yep.
And we knew it was bloody heavy. It's like a solid steel fire pit. It's awesome, but unnecessary. $88.9.
So I've taken these out. I had them as just in case kind of thing. But those 3 bags alone are 1.2 kilos. All right, air fryer.
4 kilos.
Wow.
Now, I may not be the smartest bloke in the world, but I reckon they're going to weigh 4 kilos.
Spot on.
Spot on 4 kilos.
Guess I'm finding another way to work out.
All right. Camp oven and just the lid opener. $5 kilos.
Just inflatable.
Inflatable toys, not of the adult kind. Of the floaty kind. Wow, that's 4 kilos.
Just
4
in.
kilos just in that.
Wow.
And like, because you pick up each one and you go, that's nothing, chuck it in. That doesn't weigh anything, chuck it in, we'll take it all. Like, how often are we going to use these? As cool as they are, when you find that beautiful spot and you want to lay around,
We'll just get one there.
buy one there,
4 there.
go to Kmart, buy one, and then give it away when we're done.
Yep.
All right, here's the big tickets. So this is my toolbox. $91.3.
Minus what? 69.7.
My brain hurts.
I know, I'm going to get a calculator.
21.5 kilos. Just in my tools alone. Tools that I probably don't really need. Some of them I do, like, you know, having an impact driver is well worth it. I've got like 5 batteries in there. Probably don't need to take 5 batteries. So we'll just take a charger, 2 batteries. I've got a grinder in there because I thought you never know when you might need to cut something off, but there's just things we're going to have to deal with. So we'll reduce that by a lot and then put the small amount of tools I will take in the car. I could put them in the drawers, to be honest, that's already in there. 6 kilos for the chainsaw. Just put that in the ute. Our bag that was sitting in the front boot that just has the drill for winding down the stabilizer legs and pegs and the navigator ropes. 4 kilos. As awesome as it is to have firewood on you at all times and have the holder to have the ability to do that, realistically, going down the east coast and staying in a lot of caravan parks, we won't be having a fire for a while, I dare say. But if we do, we'll go get some firewood when we're there.
About 9.
8.5, 9 kilos worth of firewood. You wouldn't think it.
Yeah, it's a tiny pile. It's not even a night's worth.
Big thank you to Dave from Weightcheck. We'll put his details in below. Great guy. He took the time, went over everything, very approachable, and he explains it in a way that you understand.
He's really open to questions, like he wants you to ask him. If you've got a question about it, go for it.
Yeah. So if you are in the Brisbane area, or they're even Weightcheck are also on the Goldie, and I believe they're up in Darwin now, and the Sunshine Coast. So if you're in any of these areas, give them a call. We'll put the details in below. Highly recommend them. So we have our numbers. To start off, we'll go through the factory numbers for our Caravan. So the ATM on the Gator X, being a single axle, is 2,800 kilos. Our tear from build comes in at 2328 kilos. So that gives us a payload of 472 kilos. Now that might sound like a lot, and we thought it was a lot, but as soon as you factor in 2 water tanks, so 2 95 litre water tanks, that's nearly 200 kilos gone if you've got those full. Then
The jerry cans.
The jerry cans, that's another, if you got 2 jerry can holders on the back, that's another 40 kilos. The timber box, if that's full of timber, that's, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20 kilos of timber in there. Bike rack that we had added on, bikes, all of your food, clothes, everything.
It really adds up really fast.
Right, so what ended up happening was our GVM was fine. GVM with the ball weight on it was fine. So we have no worries with our car. Our GCM, so our overall, the combination of the van and the car, we were under. We're good. There's no dramas there. And that's a 6-ton GCM on, or 6,000 kilo GCM on the Ford Ranger. So that's okay. So where we got caught out was our 2800 ATM, so our payload. We went over that by a considerable amount.
Yeah.
We went over that by a considerable...
By a lot.
We went over that by a lot. So basically the solution, how we are going to fix our problem. Now we know that we have too much in the van. We did not get a GVM upgrade on the Ranger when we got the suspension done, because at the time we did not think we needed it. Yeah. We worked out our numbers and we basically thought we will be good, but we just didn't realise how much stuff
little 472 kilos is.
Yeah, how quickly that adds up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're living in this thing, so our life is in here.
And we also just didn't think that doing the GVM upgrade, we didn't think we needed to carry more in the car to get less in the van. We knew that we were pretty sure our GCM was going to be good, and that's all that we were kind of worried about.
Yeah. So the Ford Ranger comes with a GVM of 3,200 kilos, and we were just below that when the van was on, ball weight, everything we had in it, water bladder full, we were just under. So the solution is GVM upgrade. That then takes us up to around that 3,500 kilogram that we can take in the car. So that then means that is more than what we are over in the Caravan.
Yeah.
So essentially what we have to do is take that weight that we are over in the Caravan, put it in the car. Means we are still under our GCM because we're not adding anything extra, we're just moving it. We are under our GVM with a bit of play still because the amount we're upgrading it is more than we need.
Yeah.
And our GCM is still fine. Actually, everything will be slightly less because we've already got rid of some stuff.
Yeah, we culled probably like 100 kilos.
That was just at the start. Like, that's just the first handful of things we pulled out. So we got rid of a lot of weight straight away, and we've still got a lot to do. Not everything that we pulled out and weighed before is actually going. Some of that will be in the car, but that'll handle it now because it's got that allowable weight. So then our next problem. So that's our solution to that. Our next problem is we have, at the time of finding this out on Thursday, we had 3 days to go before leaving on the big lap.
And we're already halfway through Thursday.
Yes.
We found this out.
So I quickly jumped on the phone, rang up where I got the suspension fitted, and then after speaking to them, I then spoke directly to Outback Armour, which is the brand of suspension that we have. Now, at the time of calling them, it seemed like all hope was lost.
Yeah.
Because they basically said, yeah, sure, we can do that GVM upgrade with what you already have in the car. It was a certain amount of money, which was fine, but it's a 2-week lead time. We don't have 2 weeks.
No.
We literally have, at that stage, by the time I'm talking to them, pretty much 2 days.
Yeah.
So we ummed and ahed of what we were going to do. One solution at the time was dump all the water in our tanks and we're under.
Yeah, pretty much. And the jerry cans, empty the jerry cans. So
if we dump all our water basically and get rid of that diesel in the jerry can, we're under again. We can travel, we feel safe and confident. But then it means that we would have to, in another state, figure out a GVM upgrade and possibly replace the whole suspension that we've just put new suspension in.
Like, I mean, that solution is great for while we're just going down the coast and we're going to be in the land of civilization, shops everywhere.
Caravan park straight away, so we'll be on mains water
and all the rest of it. But as soon as we want to kind of go a little bit more off-grid, we're going to need water.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And the jerry cans and yeah.
So I really wanted to go keep the. I love the Outback Armour suspension. It's fantastic. Really rating it so far. So I called them back, spoke to them again, and luckily enough, I got the contact number of the engineer that does their GVM upgrade. Called him and basically gave him the sob story.
But the truth, like,
Yeah.
not exaggerated, literally the truth.
So I just told him
And
exactly
begged
what
him.
it was. I said, mate, we've got a couple of days. We've just found out what's happening. We need a GVM upgrade. Is there absolutely anything you can do to help us out? He called us back and said, I can squeeze you in 5 o'clock, last appointment on the Friday. So you beauty, book us in. Let's get it done. So yeah, we'll go this afternoon. Hopefully everything goes to plan. And we'll have a higher GVM and we can transfer that weight into the car and we are fully legal.
Yes. Yay.
I highly recommend if you are going to live in your van or you're doing a lot of traveling, even if you're just a weekend traveller, get yourself weighed. You'll be surprised most of the time where you're actually at.
I might just add in that we're not going to go into specifics really about our numbers, what we weighed and stuff like that, just because it is so unique to everyone's situation.
It changes on a daily basis too.
Yeah,
really.
and literally, like, yeah, one shop and, you know, that could change everything. So
we don't want to start a whole argument on what's right, what's wrong.
yeah,
You know, we
just wanted to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our own, what's the word? Comfortability.
Comfortability.
Is that a word? I don't know. Just so we're comfortable in travelling, and yeah, that was our biggest concern. So
yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and I hope it helped you out in one way or another. Like we said, everyone's situation is unique, so nothing.
So you need to do your own research and get your own weight done, and then you can get any advice will be tailored to kind of your situation, your vehicle, and what it's capable of. We'd love if you stay tuned. Our big lap is about to start in a couple of days, and hopefully we'll see you on the road somewhere.
Catch you next time, guys.
Bye.